Valerio, I'm a photographer, and my dream was to travel around Europe and come back with a message of peace. My dream came true. Every summer I take 1 or 2 months and I travel around Europe. Usually I zigzag along the border and I look for interesting images that gives a different visual of the borderline. When we say borderline today, we often think about a wall, customs, guards, police, controls, and I want to give a completely different image of the borderline. I want to give an image with beautiful landscapes. Sometimes there is nothing. Sometimes there is an interesting story to tell, as if in this village here in Bar-le-Nassau, which is a village that is split many times between Holland and Belgium. So here we are in this street. At the moment I'm in Belgium, and just a few steps and now I'm in the Netherlands. You can also see it there. The signs are different between the two countries, but there is nothing else that shows, in fact, that there is a borderline between these two countries. I can freely walk from one country to the other, even if this house is in the Netherlands and this one is in Belgium. I started the project because I saw a picture of a French photographer, Henri Cartier-Bresson, and it was a picture of a custom house between France and Belgium that was shot in the 60s. And in 2007 I went to the same place to see if the custom house was still there. And I found it, but it was completely abandoned, in fact. So that gave me the idea of a project on the abandoned borderlines of Europe. So Europe is a continent with many countries, so it's very common to travel from one country to the other. And I remember as a kid the very long lines that we had to do at the custom houses, for instance, between Italy and Switzerland or Italy and France. And this was really hard, in fact, because you could wait like 1 hour to go in a place that is just a few kilometers from where you live. So I really remember well that period. In fact, things have changed a lot since the Schengen Agreement, because as an Italian, I'm not considered anymore a stranger in France, for instance. I'm considered a European. And so there is a complete shift in the perception that people have. You can also see the signs here, the numbers. This has the Dutch colors, and here you have a small Belgian flag. This project made me understand also, and made me think about what is the other for us. You know, it made me understand that we consider strangers some people, but this barrier, in fact, is just in our mind. This is not only true for Europe, in fact, it's true all over the world. We need to think about somebody who is another, and so we give them the word stranger. But in fact, what we did in Europe, maybe understand that it's just artificial. I was a stranger before in France, and now I'm not anymore. But in fact, I'm the same person. And so this like big barrier that fell in Europe, maybe understand that it can fall, in fact, anywhere in the world. I think that this refugee crisis that we have at the moment is a very important thing. I think we have to learn from history about the fact that creating a wall has never been a solution in the past, and it's not going to be a solution in the future. We live in a global world, and we have to accept that. We cannot just close ourselves in a fortress. In fact, this probably solves the problem in the short term, but creates a bigger problem in the long term. So if you want to really solve the problem, we have to face it now as a long-term problem.